ng'abato basanyusa bato bannaabwe muleete abaana bammwe banyumirwe banywe bazanye kino kigenda kubeera kijjabe proudly sponsored by Legends Sports Ground, UBC TV, Star TV, U24 TV, Star FM, Magic 100 FM, UBC Butebo, Marketing, UMC Victoria Hospital and Ideas Workshop. Bw'oba oyagala omwana w'okuyimba kuba ku ssimu eno.
Inspirational moment with Pastor Jackson Senyonga of Christian Life Church, Kampala.
The Lord is going to restore our lives. He will not let his children be oppressed. You not work on a project and end midway. You will not begin building and your construction stalls. You will not stall.
Inspirational moment with Pastor Jackson Senyonga of Christian Life Church, Kampala. Inspirational moment with Pastor Jackson Senyonga of Christian Life Church, Kampala.
The Lord is going to restore our lives. He will not let his children be oppressed. You not work on a project and end midway. You will not begin building and your construction stalls. You will not stall.
Inspirational moment with Pastor Jackson Senyonga of Christian Life Church, Kampala.
Let the kids feel the Christmas Eve on the 21st of December at the Legends Sports Ground in Lugogo. Entrance is 10,000 shillings only and parents free. Bring your child and have an opportunity to play, sing, dance and discover their talents. Mujje tuyingira amazaalibwa ng'abato basanyusa bato bannaabwe. Muleete abaana bammwe banyumirwe banywe bazanye. Kino kigenda kubeera kijjabe. Proudly sponsored by Legends Sports Ground, UBC TV, Star TV, U24 TV, Star FM, Magic 100 FM, UBC Butebo, Marketing, UMC Victoria Hospital and Ideas Workshop. Bw'oba oyagala omwana w'okuyimba kuba ku ssimu eno.
Hello and welcome to News Tonight. I'm Rod Angonzi. Joining us in a bit on sign language, Magalu Mohammed. But for now, let's take a quick look at the headlines. Eight police officers charged for neglect of duty to demoted for misconduct. Floods submerge homes in Kamali district, families displaced. On the international scene, Pensacola attack is presumed terrorism, is according to the FBI. And in sports, Eagle Drum Tournament final for this Tuesday. Hello once again. Police has reprimanded 8 of its officers after they failed to respond to the family of the late Nagirinya and Katayimbwa's alleged kidnap. The disciplinary court found out that the said officers were not willing to execute any action as others were absent. And another rather new development, The man behind Ntungamo robberies, murders and instability is now behind bars.
In October this year, police embarked on a hunt for criminals who are terrorizing communities in Ntungamo and Mbarara districts. 6 were arrested and are currently facing 17 counts of robbery and illegal possession of firearms. Police is holding 2 more suspects in connection to this instability, including a Rukundo Sam, the alleged gang leader.
So it brings us to a total complete of the criminal gang that was behind the many robberies in Ntungamo district and the neighboring areas. And you're aware how this gang had really posed grave danger to the communities in those places for almost 2 years.
A notorious kidnapper in Mbarara and in Ntungamo, codenamed Kabaya, is also behind bars.
This was in the most recent incident of kidnap for ransom in Mbarara, where a 4-year-old male juvenile called Musimenta David was kidnapped, and Julius Tusingwire, together with his other accomplices, were demanding for 6 million. They came down out to 1 million. We put a lot of pressure on them. They abandoned the victim, whom we handed over to the relatives, but we kept tracking this guy for arrest.
Meanwhile, Police Disciplinary Court has found 8 of its officers guilty of neglect of duty and disgraceful conduct that might have led to the kidnap and killing of the late Nagirinya and her driver Chitaimba Ronald. All the 8 have been reprimanded, and the second in charge signaller, Corporal Owana Simon and Corporal Chibikwamo, were demoted to the rank of constable.
Then we have Detective Corporal Chibikwamo Lauben, was the officer in charge count at Old Kampala. Now this one was even found seated with his legs raised, and he was very, very uncourteous. Didn't give attention to the relatives when they came. You know, that laid-back position.
And in what might prove the importance of security CCTV cameras, some suspects in their early 20s have been arrested with the help of CCTV footage. According to police, the arrested youth have been snatching people's phones around Kampala city suburbs.
Upon reviewing the CCTV footages for the last 2-3 months, they managed to track down 3 very notorious phone snatchers behind incidents of muggings, simple robbery, and phone thefts. That is at the Fairway Hotel Junction, as well as the golf course stretch towards Yusuf Rude. Basically, they indicated to us that they would target foreign nationals and also those occupants in government vehicles. They would still sell their loot at Cooper Complex. They have given us some names.
Ivan Kahwa and Sebira Andrew, UBC News.
Now, 19 homes in Nachiwulo Village, Kamuli District, were submerged by floods following heavy rains. The flooded roads hindered the Speaker of Parliament, Rebecca Litwala Kadaga's convoy from passing through the village. Namfuka Farida reports more on this.
Residents of Nachiwulo Village in Kamuli District have once again been hit by floods, barely a month after a similar disaster submerged their homes and rendered them homeless. Following the ongoing heavy rains in the country, 19 of the homes here have been submerged. Speaker of Parliament Rebecca Alitwala Kadaga, who was passing through this village, witnessed the situation as her convoy was hindered from passing through by the raging floods.
gasingiza amakagona gona na mwenda mwabamu ekanisa mwabamu no musigiti abo bavira mu irala totale n'ibindi byange byavunda emere buli kimu abana bamukaka mukazi yavabo.
The situation has been exacerbated by falling pit latrines, which residents fear will lead to outbreak of diseases like cholera.
Twaba no busibu nti kairi amadi gano agalegaime waliwo amatoyi gayidula amaadi kazambi yena yayira kungulu.
Meanwhile, Namasagali Kabanyole zone floods submerged 170 homes, and leaders in this village have expressed the need to transfer affected families to save lives.
Buli kintu kyona kifuire nga bumuli kubona tuzira numba yona abantu oti 17 numba dayiwa amaadi gatwaire.
Now moving on, former Lord's Resistance Army LRA rebel fighters have been encouraged to aspire for elective positions at all levels to explore their potential in serving the country. The chairperson, Amnesty Commission of Uganda, Justice Peter Onega, says upon clearance by government, the rebel returnees are free to participate in politics. Now, this was during the tour of returnees ventures in Gulu and Kitgum districts, a trip led by Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Internal Affairs, Dr. Benon Mutambi.
Are living in a poor condition because we have no work.
Lamentation after lamentation.
I can make a bricks, I have energy, but they support that with iron seed, that's one thing.
Including complaints.
We also need some support, that's the capital.
But with appreciation from all corners.
Me, I came, I gave birth, I went to school.
Is characteristic of the life these former LRA members once lived and are now living. They were abducted, forced into war, and some into early marriage. But by God's grace, they found their way back home. For Lucy Awol, 1998 was the year when her life changed for good.
I was abducted when I was 12 years old. From there, I got into very many problems, like I've got torture in very many problems.
Realizing her destiny was doomed, she and 3 other abductees pondered on how to escape, a move that only saw her survive.
Then I said, God, today I want to go home. If you want them to kill me, let them kill me. Then reaching at midnight when people all are asleep, I get up, 4 of us, we started moving at night.
Her arrival at World Vision was a relief. But when she was taken to hospital for a medical test, she was found pregnant at the age of 15. She spent her gestation period at World Vision, from where Amnesty Commission found her.
Then from there they called me to get the resettlement package. After getting the resettlement package, they took me back in the community.
As prayerful as she had always been, luck came her way when the community willingly welcomed her and her parents took her back to school. She has since completed Senior 4, gotten married and become a community facilitator.
The word I used to train the women in candle making and liquid soap making.
This kind of predicament is shared by 32-year-old Kidega Philip, whom we found at Unyama Trading Center doing fabrication. His return from the bush ushered him into a new life that has seen him prosper since 2006, when he escaped from the rebels.
I cannot say that we are useless. Through the Amnesty Commission, we have become useful.
Some returnees have ventured into tailoring, as others take on agriculture and small-scale business enterprises to make ends meet.
We were not having machines because we were not given machines. When we were given machine, we came and started using that machine. That machine given, we are now getting little money from it, helping us.
But because of commitment, they kept on. Up to now, they managed what has been given to them well.
All these have been made possible through the mandate and generosity of Amnesty Commission of welcoming back reformed rebel fighters.
We are encouraging them to organize into formal associations like community-based organizations, so that we can, look for them greater funding, greater support.
But as avenues are found towards addressing some of the challenges these returnees face, there are some questions. Is there a limit to what they are supposed to engage in? This question was politely answered as the Amnesty Commission chairperson, Justice Peter Onega, encouraged them to join politics.
The pardon that you get when you are given amnesty and the certificate that you get means that you have now been totally forgiven. Nobody must even point a finger at you. You are just like any other Ugandan. If you want to compete to become a member of parliament, feel free.
But how free are they to do this?
It's like somebody who has now been fully acquitted. Is no longer a criminal. So they can go in for a member of parliament position, local council position, if they have the qualification.
The Amnesty Commission was established in 2000 by an act of parliament to promote dialogue among warring parties. It has since demobilized a number of combatants, repatriated ex-combatants, and cancelled and resettled the returnees. Henry Okurut, UBC.
Now, 83 people have been arrested in Nyakabende Trading Center, Nyakabende Sub-County in Kisoro District. The Kisoro District Police Commander Christopher Ruhunde said the arrest took place during an operation against criminals terrorizing the Sub-County.
A joint operation by police and UPDF in Kisoro has arrested over 80 Rwandese and Congolese citizens for illegal entry into Uganda. The DPC Kisoro, Christopher Ruhunde, confirmed the arrests.
Intelligence information is good, is that there are many people who are not known. So after the exercise, we arrested many people. 40 were Rwandese, 28 Congolese, and 15 Ugandans. So we have brought them here to the station for further management.
The DPC urged the residents to be vigilant.
In Nyakabande Trading Center, because we have been receiving complaints about illegal migrants and others who disorganize that area, and it has not been peaceful because of the people who are not known.
However, some of the arrested suspects told journalists that they have families in Ugandan side, Rwanda or DRC Congo. Last week, Grade 1 Magistrate Kisoro deported over 30 Rwandese for illegal stay in Uganda. But the practice still exists due to people having families in both countries. For UBC TV News, I am Philip Aguta.
Still in Kisoro, residents of Nyabune village in Chahafi Parish, Molora Sub-County, are in shock following discovery of their fellow resident raped and killed in her house and the body left naked. Juliet Nyiramugisha, a widow aged 46 years, was found dead in her house in the village of Nyabune. Police in Kisoro says the daughter had come to pay a visit only to be greeted by her mother's naked body. The body was taken to Kisoro Hospital for postmortem. Quite horrifying. The First Lady Mrs. Janet Kataha Museveni has appealed for support for girl child education, especially for those who are financially unable to fulfill obligations. The message was contained in a speech read for her by the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Jacob Olanya, at the fundraising dinner organized by Gender Mainstreaming Directorate of Makerere University. Let's take a look.
According to UNESCO and Institute for Statistics Report 2018, about 258 million children, adolescents, and youth are not in school. The situation staggers prospects of realizing the global education targets by 2030. World Bank Economic Development and Human Capital Report 2019 shows that Uganda ranks 11th in the world among countries with the highest number of children out of school. Girls are more vulnerable at 46.4% compared to 44.2% of boys. The Gender Mainstreaming Directorate at Makerere University initiated the Female Scholarship Foundation to give an opportunity to girls to acquire education.
Helping others, especially those less disadvantaged than us, is one of the key virtues that define us as human beings, irrespective of our socioeconomic backgrounds.
At a fundraising dinner organized by FSF, Education Minister and First Lady Janet Kataha Museveni re-echoed the need to educate the girl child. The message was delivered by the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Jacob Olanya.
For the country to achieve its envisioned dream of a transformed Ugandan society from a peasant to a modern and prosperous country within 30 years, a lot of investment must be undertaken to empower girls and women. It is very important that girls and women who are the glue that binds society are not left behind. We must make deliberate efforts to ensure the economic and social progress.
Meanwhile, one of the beneficiaries of FSF, Agnes Baruke, says the initiative helped her acquire education.
Scholarship has been a turning stone for me, for my life. I have used the scholarship which I obtained in 2004 from Makerere University through the Carnegie Scholarship Initiative that was run by Makerere University. And from there I obtained a Bachelor of Science in Sports Science from Makerere University, where I obtained a job, a lecturing job at Indeja University. And from there I used my job to support other girls just like I was supported.
Over Uganda shillings 63 million was realized in cash and pledges. The First Lady contributed shillings 20 million in cash. On the other hand, Forum for African Women Educationalists, FAWE, are also drumming up support for girl child education.
So children are actually suffering. Children are actually out of school. And if we want this nation to develop, the key thing that we have to do is to ensure that girls are in schools, because you educate a girl, the after effects or the flow out goes to the entire country.
At a dinner held at Fangfang Hotel in Kampala, attended by the NRM Party Treasurer Rosemary Namayanja as the chief guest, over 20 million shillings was raised.
So, the message I would like to give to the government, our government, is to ensure that children get quality education. When they are educated, they get good jobs.
FAWE found me when I was roasting chicken on the roadside, just here in Banda, where I used to roast my chicken from, and the children at school used to laugh at me, used to call me chicken. Even if I campaign for something at school, for any post, or I make a point in class, they will say, what is chicken going to tell us?
Namayanja decries the rising numbers of girls taking up prostitution as a means of earning a living.
So yes, the challenge we now have is a mindset change, where we are supposed to create self-discipline, where we are supposed to enhance self-education, we are supposed to have personal development at the various levels, and where we encourage young people, especially the girls who have gone to school.
I'm Robert Onyango for UBC News in Kampala.
Now, 3 more bodies have been recovered in the Bududa landslides 4 days after the incident. The total number of the dead in the Bududa landslides have now reached 12. Floods have caused disaster across the country, with districts like Bundibujo, West Nile, Bulambuli being the worst affected, with death tolls now over 50.
The excavation exercise has resumed and 3 bodies have been recovered, bringing the total number of bodies recovered to 12. Residents say over 30 bodies are still missing. The area member of parliament has accused the government of what he termed as little efforts in recovering the bodies.
I'm on ground and really I'm disturbed. I've seen no Red Cross around. I've seen no government officials around. I've only seen a tractor here uprooting people. There are no even gloves. People are touching dead bodies with their bare hands. Sincerely, the government should come in. I'm really troubled, I'm disturbed, and I'm crying. Currently, there's nothing. You hear the other time they were given some food items from OPM. There's nothing else.
The Minister of State for Health, Sarah Pendi, however, says government will ensure that people live a better life. State Minister for Disaster, Musa Echweru, says government is considering relocating the people by compensating them.
Everybody now here knows that we must leave the place, isn't it? Everybody knows that. In fact, from the information I've got from your leaders, the members of parliament and the chairperson and this council, it is actually our speed now which is your problem. But you all want to go away. So I think what I will go and share with the government is that apart from the other traditional system we're thinking of buying land and building houses, we may have to take another shortcut that can make you people leave this dangerous place as quickly as possible. And we are going to discuss that and communicate that to the popular and see the modalities of how it will work.
For UBC TV News, I am Philip Aguta.
Meanwhile, people living in disaster-prone areas of Bundibujo have declined to relocate to safer places despite the plea from local leaders. The chairperson of C5 Bundibujo District at Egeka, Ronald, says where need arises, relocation will be compulsory.
Thank God we're in holidays, but at the time children come back to school, they should find some shelter already for them to start a normal schooling. The Ministry of Health to come in. All our water sources in the mountain, 7 of them have been destroyed. Only 1 is trying to function but also blocked. So our hospitals have no water, our people have no water. It's going to be a disaster. For us in the Ministry of Agriculture, we have got to come in because most of the gardens are swept completely. Swept completely. And these are gardens of a perennial crop called the cocoa. Plant it right now, you shall start harvesting the next 3 years. So what we are going to do is to make sure that we supply people with fast maturing crops.
So we are all hopeful that by tomorrow the excavators will be in the district and begins work. And that is our whole hope to have. And I'm happy that already the regional engineer, Mr. Felix, is already in the district. And by tomorrow, midday or at 2, we shall have done some substantial work to be able to establish how many have lost their lives and to forget about the suspicions. So I think that is no longer an issue. What is important is that we need to work together as a team with the communities and other stakeholders to make sure that these people are excavated. It is true, they are there.
Meanwhile, police in Bukutula Zone, Kagulu Sub-County, Bayende District, arrested a 30-year-old man who allegedly defiled a 4-year-old girl. The victim's parents say that girl was hoodwinked by the defiler, who deceived her with sweets and took her to a nearby bush and defiled her. She was, however, saved by passers-by who, after wailing for help, and the suspect fled. The defiler jumped court bail, which had been granted to him. Moving on, Mujuni Fred, 40-year-old, and Bulega Fred, 35-year-old, all residents of Wabigalo in Wabinyonyi sub-county in Nakasongola district, were found dead Monday morning with their heads chopped off. This comes barely 3 days after 4 other people were murdered in the same village. According to Assistant Regional Police Commander Savannah Region, Wamnyerere David James, the first suspect who murdered the first suspect for the first murders is under police detention. The area MP Mutebi Noah Wanzala advised the public to report suspicious persons.
What has happened again is what happened on Thursday. The same cutting of people has occurred, only that today they have cut 2. But the style of cutting the neck off and some parts missing is the same. Now, we got the actual thing, we got the suspect. Actual suspect led us to his bosses. We have arrested them. I believe by the time we arrested the final man, he had already dispatched a team to come and catch this one, because he was arrested around 9 and this one could have happened around 10. Meaning there are still some other people who had been dispatched in this district, in this area, to do the same thing.
I received a phone call at around 6:30 that 2 people were beheaded at a nearby place near Wabigalo Trading Center. We rushed there. Our K9 came and did the work, and we are suspecting probably these are the same people, but we shall get them because the key suspects are already in custody, and we are sure that we shall be able even to pick these ones.
I want to appeal to the IGP and the Ministry of Security and the government that Nakasongola should be taken as a priority in any consignment which can come. Either if they have a patrol in excess, let it be sent to Nakasongola to make sure that we can really fight criminality in the area.
Quite unfortunate. Deputy Speaker of Parliament Jacob Olanya has blamed colonialists for civil unrest in Africa. This was during the 9th African Refugees Summit held in Kampala. Another summit focused on education, energy and infrastructure, among other topical issues.
This year's Africa Refugee Summit was organized under the theme, Refugees, Returnees, and internally displaced persons towards durable solutions to foster displacement in Africa. The focus is on protection, education, work, energy and infrastructure, mobility, and how to address root causes of refugee influx in Africa. Officiating at the closure of the summit, Deputy Speaker of Parliament Jacob Olanya reiterated the need for Africa's unity in order to find lasting solutions to problems that affect the continent.
That no African should be called a foreigner, especially in Africa. How can you be a foreigner in your own place? That is what inspired our president.
Olanya also, to some great extent, blamed the colonialists for the predicament in which Africans find themselves today.
As for minerals you refuse, they will come for you. You give contract to another country that is not theirs, they will come for you. But when they are coming for you, instead of just coming for you, they come for everybody, causing displacement and suffering to people who have no interest
Uganda's ambassador to the African Union, Amoge Atego Rebecca, says it is a blessing that Uganda chairs the Refugee Commission in Africa. Amoge adds that next year, the summit will be organized under the theme, Silencing the Gun.
This policy is very unique. We don't have refugee camps, but we have settlements. And in these settlements, they work and live with the host communities. We share our social amenities with the refugees.
Thank you so much. Do we sing a happy birthday song?
Jamil Sekaja compiled this story for UBC News.
Nurses and midwives end-of-year semester examinations 2019 have entered the second week with candidates sitting for the practical papers. The Uganda Nurses and Midwives Examination Board says exams are moving on as expected, apart from the unpredicted weather.
All the 97 sitting examination centers for nurses and midwives candidates are writing examinations. Sister Regina Atimo, a center coordinator at Mulago School of Nursing and Midwifery, explains today's exam.
We are trying to teach communities how to prevent sexually transmitted infections. We are also assessing whether students know what type of equipment to use during particular procedures, like neurological tests. And we are also testing the students whether they are able to pass a catheter, and then to make assessment on dehydration on a child who comes into the assessment unit when he's severely dehydrated. So we want to see whether the nurse is able to handle these cases.
At Mengo School of Nursing and Midwifery, over 200 candidates sat for this year's examinations. Principal Tutor Mrs. Mutiaba Masi and Sister Kadu Judith, the center coordinator, agrees that practicals are key in the nursing and midwifery profession.
From the time the students enter the institute, up to the time they complete, and they learn from the practical room, skills lab, and they go and practice on the wards, and they have to be assessed even while on the wards.
If you do not have hands-on, we cannot treat patients theoretically. We treat the patients practically as we get the skill. So if a nurse and midwife has the skill, then the patients will be treated professionally.
The Public Relations Officer, Uganda Nurses and Midwives Examination Board, Agnes Wada, says unpredicted weather pattern has affected the exams.
Sopakwach getting issues, accessing Arua was a bit difficult, but we thank God that UMRA came in handy and solved that problem before this week.
Candidates started with theory papers in the first week, and this week they are doing practicals until Friday. This is the fourth series of Uganda Nurses and Midwifery Examination Board semester exams. Over 45,000 are sitting exams, 674 are for diploma, while 38,432 are at certificate level. Tony Senaulia compiled this report.
And Chambago University is to have its first ever doctorate graduate since its inception. Vice Chancellor Professor Eli Katunguka says the university is ready to set up a competitive project to produce its own professors. He was addressing the media about the impending 16th graduation.
8,892 students are to graduate at the 16th Chambago University graduation, with 4,877 male and 4,015 female for the first time in history. The university is to award PhDs.
We have not had PhD graduates, but they have been graduating from other universities. But these two graduates, PhDs in food science and technology, I think, are the first students to graduate from Chambago following our introduction of PhD programs.
20 students are to miss this graduation for failure to meet necessary requirements in time.
Students whose results have not been approved by Senate. I was made aware about there are about 20 students. We have written to them that we shall give them the awards, the transcripts, but they will not graduate this year. you'll graduate next year.
The university is still stuck with the issue of impeachment of the guilty president, which Professor Katumuka says affects communication between the students and the administration.
The president was impeached. That means the GRC moved the vote of no confidence in the guilty president. And they said they will not work with him. Attempts have been made at reconciliation, but he has had very difficult stance. He is not willing to apologize to his colleagues.
The three-day graduation ceremony will take place between 11th and 13th of December, and the chief guest is expected to be President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Abdul Nasir Luwama for UBC News.
Over 720 needy children in the areas of Kagula in Wakeso district have received support from Pila University members of USA in partnership with a local-based charity organization, Caring Heart Uganda. The country executive director, Caring Heart Uganda, Paul Musisi, says that reforming the community will deliver citizens for the 2040 vision.
N'okugumba ku nguudo olw'embeera n'abantu okwetooloola eggwanga
omukozesebwa nga bali mu nsonga zaabwe ez'ekyama okumala omwaka mulamba. Buli mwana tumuwadde ebipaketi 12 bigenda kubayamba okubeera mu ssomero basome.
With that, we take a quick break. We return with more details. You're watching News Tonight.
Hello, Uganda! We introduce to you the first and ever My Right to Play Christmas Kids Festival 2019. Let the kids feel the Christmas Eve on the 21st of December at the Legend Sports Ground in Lugogo. Entrance is 10,000 shillings only and parents free. Bring your child and have an opportunity to play, sing, dance and discover their talents. Mujje tuyingira amazaalibwa ng'abato basanyusa bato bannaabwe. Muleete abaana bammwe banyumirwe, banywe, bazanye. Kino kigenda kubeera kijjobe. Proudly sponsored by Legends Sports Ground, UBC TV, Star TV, U24 TV, Star FM, Magic 100 FM, UBC Butebo, Marketing, UMC Victoria Hospital, and Ideas Workshop. Bw'oba oyagala omwana w'okuyimba kuba ku ssimu eno.
All she had was a smile through the raging tides in the stormy wind, and the sounds of war. Like a child, she'll learn to get a hold of freedom.
Welcome back. You're still watching News Tonight. Magalu Mohammed on sign language in a bit. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. Government has entered agreement with Loon LLC company as a sign authorizing commencement of balloon overflights over Uganda's airspace to Kenya, Democratic Republic of Congo and Congo-Brazzaville. Uganda Civil Aviation Authority, the regulator of the country's airspace, signed on behalf of government.
With their signatures appended on these documents, Loon LLC
a U.S. company under the Alphabet Group, will operate balloon flights over Uganda's airspace.
Congratulations to both of you for this achievement. A round of applause.
Loon LLC company is a sister company to Google, whose operations are mainly provision of quick internet connections in remote areas in the country of operation. Dr. Anne Peruz, Loon LLC, head of government relations, says this technology has in the previous times helped in rescue operations in areas facing natural disasters.
Also, when you talk about disaster relief, it's mainly people who cannot call for help because their towers have been thrown over, and all of a sudden, if you put a balloon in the sky, they're connected again.
State Minister for Works and Transport, Aggrey Bajire, expressed optimism that the deal brings a cocktail of benefits through taxes.
They are telling you that instead of having a mast on Serena Hotel, which has these electromagnetic waves, which will affect the people within the surrounding, with the Loon Balloon, they will be offering these services in the space 50,000, over 50,000 feet above sea level.
Uganda Civil Aviation Authority's Director General, Professor David Kakuba, signed on behalf of government.
And even over flying is very safe to us in aviation because these balloons fly at 50,000 feet above sea level. And yet here the highest flying plane like the Gulf Stream flies at about 36,000 feet, leaving a whole 14,000 feet up there.
Operating in, among other countries, Botswana, Nigeria, South Africa and Kenya, Loon LLC is expected to enter agreement with different telecommunication companies as a prerequisite for local operations.
If you are connected to a specific provider, you will then get Loon connection in the middle of nowhere, because the balloon will connect to the physical cell tower of an operator.
Dorcas Kimono, UBC TV News.
And with that, we take a look at the money market. Apologize for that. Now in sports, the stage is set. Security has been beefed up for the finals of the Eagle Power FUFA Drum Tournament. That's at the Akibua Stadium in Lira. Bukedi region faces a Choli in what many refer to as an entertaining final, where the winner walks away with 32 million shillings. Emon Ngabo has more.
Bukedi Region and Acholi are facing off in the finals of the FUFA Drum Tournament this Tuesday. At the second semi-final of the Eagle Power sponsored tournament played at the Akibwa Stadium in Lira, host Lango went mute when visitors Bukedi carried the day in a 1-0 victory. The local organizing committee, however, praised the locals for turning up in big numbers for the semi-finals. A total of 32 goals were scored in 12 matches of the quarter-finals played over 6 match days. Akibwa Stadium has been lined up to host the finals, with security beefed up to meet the number of supporters expected to turn up. The winner of the final will bag shillings 32 million, gold medals and a trophy. The losing finalists will pocket 15 million shillings, and each of the losing quarter-finals will take away 5 million. The third and fourth in group provinces shall part with 1.5 million and 1 million respectively. The Eagle Power Drum Tournament has been hailed for uniting regions in the country.
Meanwhile, Uganda has started well at the 10th edition of the annual East African Community Inter-Parliamentary Games ongoing at St. Mary's Chitende and Lugogo Indoor Stadium. Uganda won first netball game after beating Burundi 68-11 before the second game between Kenya and Tanzania, which Uganda later won 26-11. Legislators do agree that the games, which are a symbol of fostering integration in the East African region, have played a big role in uniting the region. Action resumes tomorrow in netball, volleyball and football, respectively.
Uganda, for the girls or for the netball team, we are the defending champions. So every match matters to us. And I know every team trained to come and take the trophy from Uganda. But we are still prepared and we are more determined than ever before to retain our title as the defending champions. Actually, the East Africa had been only left to the members of parliament who sit in Arusha as our representatives as countries. But the games, I see, have had a very big impact on making us understand our colleagues. I now can go to Burundi and know there is Honorable so-and-so. A member from Tanzania can come to Uganda and know there is Honorable so-and-so. A member from Kenya can go to Rwanda and know there is Honorable so-and-so because of the many interactions we have been having as a community.
Just sending them some greetings. Last year I wasn't around. I did not attend, but now I'm around. They have to know that tomorrow we're going to win, and this tournament is going to Tanzania. You know, it has been always rotating between Uganda and Tanzania, so this time around it's Tanzanian win. They better, for the few hours remain, they have to train, really train hard. We'll beat them. I've seen the game they were playing with Burundi. You know, Burundi, they know that well. Had it been Tanzania, could have scored 100, but they managed to do only 69, so you can imagine. The 31 gap they've left, then that will be beaten. Tanzania will beat Uganda around that, the difference. As we know that we are East African, as we want to have a regional integration, it has been there for almost over 10 years. To me, I find it's very useful. We get to interact, we get to exchange some of the stuff. You know, every country, they have their own challenges. So when we meet as a registrator, we need, at a time after this game, we are sitting, interacting, exchanging ideas, and I believe that for our strongest East Africa, when we go back to our mother country, then we tend to use the challenges around, sending our representative to the EAC Parliament so that we can have a unified regional that is strong with the same vision and aim. Yeah.
Uganda Cranes continues to shine at the ongoing CAF Senior Challenge Cup. Uganda has won its second game, played at the Star Time Stadium in Lugogo, defeating Somalia 2-0. Both goals from KCCA's attacking midfielder Alan Okello were enough to help Uganda progress to the next round. Meanwhile, Uganda's under-17 girls team has defeated Burundi 4-0 at the Fufa Technical Center in Njeru.
Had a chance in the very first minute. Maybe we weren't quite awake enough, but that shocked us awake. And really, from that point, you know, Lukwago in the goals, he's not had a serious shot to save, and we've created a number of chances. And really, on another day, maybe we scored 2 or 3 more than today. But overall, I thought the boys did very well, and they pushed through. And yeah, as the commissioner said, we largely dominated the game. And yeah, we're pleased with that. So 2 wins from 2 games, it gives us a good foundation to move on in the tournament. That shows a little bit of tiredness in the mind as well. So, you know, I think you have to take all factors into consideration. Yes, maybe if we didn't have a game 2 days ago, we convert a couple more of those chances today. But as I said, I'm pleased with the players, and the team that finishes on top at the end of these 2 weeks will be the team not only who has quality, but the team who manages the schedule the best. So we're trying to do that. Any of the small errors that Shafiq or any of the players made, most of them came in the last 20 minutes of the game. And again, there might have been 1 or 2 early, but the volume of any little mistakes were in the last 20 minutes. And again, that's a little bit of fatigue. we've got options. You know, Shafiq's doing very well in there at the moment. Obviously, we brought Nicholas Kasozi on today. Mutiaba can play in there. You know, there's a number of players. John Ravita could play in there if we wanted him to, so he has history in that position. So, you know, we're not short of options in different positions.
Now, Uganda's under-17 girls team has defeated Burundi 4-0 in the ongoing Sekafa Women under-17 tournament at the Fufa Technical Center in Njeru. Uganda's captain and leading forward Juliet Nalukenge scored a hat-trick and Samali Nakachwa scored the other. And with that, let's quickly take a look at the top stories once again. Duty to demoted for misconduct. Floods submerge homes in Kamali district, families displaced. On the international scene, Pensacola attack is presumed terrorism, according to the FBI. And in the world of sports, Eagle Drum tournament final for this Tuesday. Well, that does it. Thank you for sticking with us. Mugalu Muhammad on Sign Language. I am Rodan Gonzi. Have a lovely night.
Going to pass over. The God who opens doors is going to open doors for you.